tell me, what do you think every QS needs to know?
The Building Safety Act was drafted as a result of Grenfell Tower, the tragedy where we lost 72 lives. And it was enacted actually several years ago on an interesting date, the 1st of April 2023, which always
Surely
makes me smile. Now, it generally only applies in England, but our friends in Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland are also doing something around building safety, but it's not the Building Safety Act as we know it in England. And so the question is, what was the Building Safety Act intended to do? Well, it was intended to strengthen building safety regulations and to strengthen accountability for those involved with buildings. And that's the bit I think really the audience today will be interested in. So many people will be aware that the Building Safety Act introduces a new regulatory regime for tall residential buildings, and that's basically blocks of flats, but it also includes tall hospitals and tall care homes. And that regime is called the gateways. And there are 3 gateways. There's Gateway 1, which is planning stage. There's Gateway 2, which is building control stage as we know it, and Gateway 3, which is occupation stage. And we now have a new regulator who's responsible for those tall residential buildings, and they're responsible both during construction and during occupation, and that's the Building Safety Regulator. We call them the BSR. And the BSR is now expecting applications at each of those gateway stages to be much, much more comprehensive than what we've provided in the past.
And take much longer.
Well, they're going to have much more detail, or they're expected to have much more detail. And they're also expecting that detail to include a lot more of the design, so that the design is pretty much finished almost prior to actually starting the work. And you and I both know that's not what's happened in the past.
Yeah, for sure.
And one of those things that you can't do now, if you're involved with designing or building those tall residential buildings, is it's a bit like Monopoly. You may not pass go if you haven't done whatever. So you cannot progress onto the next stage, the next gateway, until you've been authorised to do so by the Building Safety Regulator. And as you quite rightly say, that's where we're getting the enormous delays at the moment. We've got a new process, we've got a new regulator, everything's new, it's new to us, it's new to them, and the timescales that they have set and said that they're going to comply with, we're not seeing at the moment.